everybody. Just want to take a few minutes to talk about the Guild 258 Baritone. Alright, so this is my Baritone acoustic. Alright, I do have it in tune, so that's good. I thought that I'd go ahead and talk about the strings. What I have on here right now are these elixirs. This is an 8 string that you'll see, and so we've got doubled up strings here. So starting from the top string here, or the high note, we've got B, F sharp, then we move to D, so we've got the octave D, then we've got A, so octave A, we've got E, and then we've got B. Okay, so there's our string notes. And you know, because we have the octave strings on here, it did make it a challenge to find any kind of capo that might work. Now, of course, why would you want to capo a transposing instrument? I mean, that is really a preference issue. Maybe you're playing with somebody, or maybe it's just like you would capo a guitar, like you want to play certain chords and there is a reason that you want those chord structures. Maybe it just sounds more authentic with open strings, or you're trying to match, you know, an artist, but you can't play in the same key that they sing with. Various reasons to use capo. The one that I think most folks are familiar with, the Kaiser. Great capo, spring action, very strong, but remember that we are dealing with octave strings here. So when we put this on, it is strong enough to get to the point where those octave strings still ring out a little bit. But you hear that kind of buzz. Just not clean. It does ring out, but not clean. Okay? So another one that I think a lot of people are familiar with, the New Schwan. So New Schwan capo. Does have some cool little features built into it. Pick holder, I don't know that you'd ever use that, but it is built into it. Does have this cool bridge pin puller. I do like that. I like a bridge pin puller when I'm changing strings. Clips on from underneath, nice little spring action. Works great on my acoustic, not so great on the baritone because of the octaves. Okay, so here we are, just not clean, you know. So what do? All right, you go online and you Google and you say, hey, what are the options? And of course, everybody knows the G7 capo company. Phenomenal capos. Don't own one. I mean, some of there are low-end guitars that cost less than some of their capos. So I would really advocate for them if that is in your budget range. One day I'm going to have several. But until that day, this Windgo, pretty handy capo. So Windgo capo, guitar capo. This particular one here, I'll throw the model number up there so that if anybody trying to get it to focus, there we go. If anybody wants that, okay. But found this super handy. It's perfect for these octave strings. Now, I can't speak to whether or not this will work on a 12 string because I don't own a 12 string yet. But for the minimal amount of octave strings on this 8 string baritone, it works perfect. So a little crank here, and so slide right over, just give it a little crank, just to put a little tension on there, and you'll know. There we are. So I found this capo, and I have tried it several times. When you put it on there, you do put a little tension on there, and at first I was worried, is that going to put me out of tune? It does not seem to overly stretch the strings or anything like that, where It doesn't put the guitar out of tune. When you take it back off, you can continue playing, and you really don't notice a tuning difference. So thought that was super handy, the Wingo capo, and so I just figured I'd put together a little video to help everybody out with what to do with some of these octave strings.